Hello. What's good with you? If you want to try to pretend like this is a podcast for what's good with you, but this is not a podcast for that. This is the 2025 anime tier list for the Paceman Monday crew. Yeah, I know it's been almost a year for that crew. My bad. But yeah. It's not like I haven't thought about it. I've literally thought about it every season. Okay, if you thought about it, why haven't you made a Paceman since spring for the winter wrap up? Well, see, what had happened was I don't really remember what happened in spring. I thought about it and I probably just didn't do it because I'm lazy. Summer, I actually tried to do the Paceman wrap up, and I tried 4 specific times, and I explicitly remember trying 4 times. But what happened every time was it was so long since I used Paceman because I often forget to do these, or I often neglect to do these. That's a more accurate thing to say. That I would start typing and I'd be getting really long winded, and it's like, okay, I'd go save it. And so I would do something like close the tab, and I'd come back and it's like, oh, you can't just close the tab. You have to actually like post it on your account as unlisted. All right, well, I'll remember to do that next time. And then I started typing the second time. And one of the times, just the window crashed or something. I forget what. But then, like, the third and fourth time, I did the same thing where it's like, all right, well, I'll just close the tab. And surely it'll save it as undrafted or something. It's like, no, there's no draft or undrafted or whatever here. You have to actually post it as unlisted. And on the fourth time, I was like, you know what? I'll come back to this. I'm mad at this. I hate it here. I'll type it in Notepad, and I'll come back to it. I didn't come back to it. Fall. I don't really have a good answer for fall. It's probably the same thing as spring, where I thought about it, and I probably remembered what happened in summer. I was like, I'll just save it for the end, which is now, because it is time for the tier list. And instead of typing a tier list, just like I've been doing for the past few years, I've done this once or twice, I can't remember. I was like, I will just make an actual tier list, make a video. It seems funnier. I was one click away from streaming this, but as of right now, I haven't streamed in a while, and even though we hit the anime button on the stream, I don't really talk about anime that much. I was like, I'll keep this for the YouTube and the paste bin. Let's crack open this water. All right. As per paste bin rules, I'm trying to do this in one take. I say one take. This is actually the second one. I didn't like the intro of the first one, so this I'm already technically lying, but you know I lie. And if you don't know I lie, you should know that I lie. I'm going to try to do this in one take. If for some reason I make the mistake of hitting the refresh button and this tier list blows up, because this is not a safe template, this is just a single use tier list as it shows. And tier makers, like, if you don't want to make a template, if you leave this page, it blows up. If that happens, now I'll probably just do it again unless we're like far into it. But I, off the top of my head, and as I wrote in my quick skeleton, I don't know if I'm going to delve too far into many, if any, of these. Just pretty much where I would put them, a little blurb about them, why I liked them, why I disliked them, maybe if I'd recommend, if I didn't, who to recommend to, yada yada. But TLDR, if you're used to Paceman, it's pretty much the same thing. We're just trying to yeet this out there. Already 2 swigs of water in. Good lord, this is gonna be crazy. Is there any? Oh, if really and truly, if I could, if I wasn't lazy and I like registered an alignment or registered a template so I can do an alignment chart, that'd be a better thing. Maybe next time, but yeah, all right. Also did make the mistake of just using the thumbnails for all of these, so I will quite often be going back and referencing what it actually is, because it would have made far more sense to just make a generic block of text with the title. But yeah, we can't be bothered with that, can we? Anyways, here we go. Apothecary Diary, Season 2? Season 2. This is easy. S tier. Extreme Mau Mau enthusiast. Like, ever since the first episode of Season 1, like, the little drug girl gets kidnapped and sent to the back palace and just solves mysteries the whole time while trying to figure out why in the world she's here. And I mean, she knows why she's here. She just whatever. It's another day. Mau Mau's great. But yeah, it was a really good season. Don't have a whole lot to really say about that other than, yeah, it was just a really good season. Um, I have been recommending it heavily to people, although I have the base problem of, man, I don't know how to really recommend. I thought I turned streamer mode on. See, we're not changing this hold. I thought about turning streamer mode on. I didn't turn streamer mode on. All right, streamer mode is on. I have the problem when I look at Apothecary Diaries. It's really good. And I'm like, man, I could recommend this to anybody. But then I stop and I think about it. And I think about, like, just not the base plot, because it's a drama, but the details and the specifics of the characters. I'm like, I find it really hard to recommend this to an average guy. Like, especially ye old generic action shonen guy. I'm like, how could I sell action shonen guy on Apothecary Diaries? I'm like, I don't think I can. But if they're willing to try it, they would understand. It's really good. It's like one of the best animes of recent times. If anybody argues it's one of their best animes ever, you let them have it. It's that good. It's Mau Mau's great. Mau Mau enthusiast. All right, and now I'm already wondering why this is slightly out of order, but we're just going down the list here. This is Dr. Stone Season 4. It was the New World, right? I don't have the subtitle. Like Stone World. Oh, I forget what the subtitle for this one is. Like Stone World, New World, or something like this. Like, I want to put it up here because no matter what my general opinion of Dr. Stone is, which is usually mid-ish, I respect that it is Good Faces the anime. I respect that it is not a Dogy anime. And I understand that it is solid. But I don't like how not even past season 1, just like the general premise of the entire anime has been like conflict. And I'm like, given the scenario, why is there so much conflict? Why is there this level and this degree of conflict? And that irks me. Wait. Okay, that's the other one. Hold. I have to turn on the other streamer mode. But pause for the cause. Bum 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 ba-dum ba-dum ba. Calm down. Calm down. I don't need this. Alright, I guess I have to do this. We're doing it live. Oh, that's how that works. Alright. I need to put that there. I need to do this. And then I need to take this. Where is my... There it is. I need to put this on streamer mode as well. My ghetto setup. Wow. All right. Anyways, Dr. Stone. I don't like that. I don't like the kind of conflict it has. I don't like the amount of conflict it has, which is by default why I want to kind of put it down here. But, oh yeah, Chelsea exists. I can't stand her. So, yeah, just based off of that alone. Like, really and truly, Dr. Stone should be, like, high. If anybody says it's top tier because they really like the science, I totally understand that. Oh, that's another thing I don't like about it, though. I don't like the convenience of how everything works out, which, I mean, it's an anime, it's supposed to, but there are far too many things that are far too convenient. But if people are cool with it, I will not argue this. I will not argue anybody saying that this is, like, a high tier or top tier anime. But, God, I don't like the amount of conflict, the type of conflict, and then just this season alone, man, I hate Chelsea. Man, I hate Chelsea. Honey Lemon Soda. I kind of have to dump this here simply because I don't remember a whole lot about it. I remember the base plot, which was Too Good Girl who is brought up in like stuffy snobby parents who want her to do too well, wants to have a grounded high school life, and she just randomly encounters kind of rough guy, and it's like, I want to go where he goes, and I want to have like a more grounded experience. Um, yeah, it's romance off the top of my head, and I didn't think too much of it. I do remember that it had a really unique art style, animation style, which is cool about it. And the soundtrack was very piano heavy. But past that is like it was another romance. And apparently there's supposed to be a second season somewhere down the road. I don't know. But it's okay. I don't really think too much of it myself. I wouldn't really recommend it to people as of yet, in the sense of, if somebody asked me for a romance, and some people have been asking me for like animes and romance, this isn't the first thing that crossed my mind. But if somebody says they're interested in it, I'd be like, try it. It's not bad. It is not bad at all. It's just, it doesn't stand out to me. So I didn't put too much thought into it past that. My Happy Marriage season 2. Now, season 1 was top tier. Season 2, I might actually have to put it here. Like here. I did not really enjoy season 2. I didn't really enjoy season 2 for, I'm trying to think. I've never really liked the whole like fantasy mystical beast, the actiony part of it. It seemed really jarringly out of place. Um I didn't like how a lot of season 2, from what I remember, was more of woe is Mio. Like, I thought we were through with that in season 1. But, and I guess, well, I mean, this whole thing should be laced as a spoiler since I'm talking about anime that's happened. But I was looking toward one thing in season 2, Hold for Water. I was looking forward to exactly one plot line in season 2, and it never happened. I wanted to see what happened to Kaya. I wanted to see her be miserable wherever she was. And she's in like a flashback. And that's one of the big things that just stuck in my head about it. I was like, I don't care. I don't really care. What is that? Oh, alright. I was like, why did it shift? So yeah. My Happy Marriage season 2, it was, like, if you're really invested into the couple, God, I can't even think of the guy's name right now because he's not Mio. I don't really care. Like, if you're really invested into like their story, it's like more trials and tribulations. But past that, like me myself, I just wasn't interested in what season 2 put down. It's just more woe is Mio, and I really feel like it shouldn't have been so hard on that. I wanted more of like the happy marriage. So I was welcome to Japan, Miss Elf. I have this thing sometimes with this mouse where I'm holding left click and I will accidentally right click. So I didn't mean to drop that there. But I think this goes here. And I think this is an honest mid tier. Okay, it's not an honest mid tier. I believe it is, but the reason I'm putting it here is a personal reason. So the premise of this is isekai where, it's technically a double isekai where main dude is an office worker, and how does he get to the other world? He goes to sleep and he goes to fantasy world and he meets an elf. and he eventually is able to bring Elf to actual Japan. Um, this is uh, a concept. Yeah, this is a concept that I've seen in the anime a few times, and I pretty much have I come to the same conclusion every time. When it is bring the fantasy to the real world and watch where the these beings, creatures, or whatever from the fantasy world interact with like the modern day, that's funny. When it is take the real modern day person and put them in fantasy world, I think a lot less of it because it's usually framed around they know more than the people in the fantasy or they have all the convenience. So it's just watch me be OP. And so that's where I feel about this. Like, I really did like the segments where they were in Japan and it was like, hey, you want to go to the library? Hey, you want to go to the department store? Stuff like that. But when they're in the fantasy world doing like, yeah, let's go raid the dragon nest. Let's go raid the bandits den. It was like, it was okay. It was okay. Um, this is Blue Exorcist. What is this? The Blue Knight Saga. Oh man. I'm not putting this here because Blue Exorcist was gone for a long time. I forget how long it was. And then it came back. They started doing seasons of it again like 2 or 3 years ago. And it always feels so out of place because the base manga is from like 10, 15 years ago. And you can really tell by the plot, like the themes, some characteristics, like it feels out of place. Not to the point of being odd, or not to the point of being bad, but it just feels odd for how things are now. But this arc, I think I have to put this here. Not because I like the arc so much. I actually don't like the arc so much. I'm honestly just watching Blue Exorcist at this point out of obligation of I remember watching the first season and I really liked it. So when it came back, I was like, I'm gonna continue to watch it. Or yeah, whenever after the long hiatus, I was like, I'm gonna continue to watch it. And I haven't been impressed since then, but I'm not going to drop it. I don't hate it. But the Blue Knight Saga, there are some scenes and some moments in that arc that I'm like, this is. I mean, good is the easy thing to say, but it's like, this is. What's the right word? Intriguing. Because if you've seen this, you should understand that there are some moments in this arc where it's like a guy will never understand the actual like agony and despair of these moments. It's like, why do you put this in an anime? But you did, and I watched it, and I was like, wow, that's and that has turned any of those anything in that ballpark into my benchmark. Like this saga is my benchmark, and that's really important to say now because this week, was it this week? Yeah, it was this week on Fire Force. They tried to get into the same ballpark, and I literally said, "Huh, y'all are trying to bark up the same tree that Blue Exorcist did last year, but you're not even close. You can't top that. Like, that segment was too powerful. It'll be a while before something beats that. So yeah, like, I guess I have to. I don't want to go as far as to say it's like iconic, because I haven't heard anybody really talk about this, but it's memorable. It it was really memorable. I am not going to forget this for a long time. Did I like it as a whole? Not really. Would I recommend this to people as a whole? Not really. Not even the realm of, like, if you like the whole, like, this archetype of shonen anime. But if you're watching Blue Exorcist, this, I mean, you were gonna watch this anyways, but this was pretty good. I may be a guild receptionist, but I'll solo any boss to make quota. No, to make not quota. That's my Samurai thing. To clock out on time. Yeah, I'll solo any boss to clock out on time. God, Alina Clover is a great character, but I have to be very, I have to be very, very real. It's all right. So, I'm sure far more anime than I know fit into this trope or fit into this archetype right now. But this is another guideline for me. There is a concept. There is a meme. Like, it is literally a meme. Do you like the meme? Yes. Then you will think well of the anime. Do you like the meme? No. There is nothing else here. And that is effectively Guild Receptionist. Alina Clover is a great character. Even when she runs her gag into the ground, she's still a great character. If you do not care for the gag of the guild receptionist who will go kick the crap out of anything in the attempt of trying to get off work when she's supposed to clock out, there's nothing else here. Like, sure, there's the whole, like, the bigger plot and everything is so generic and throwaway. I want to say you don't really care about the other characters. I can't think of the girl's name, the cleric. She has the interest. She has an interesting cleric backstory, but that's not enough to save this. This is very mediocre. But again, Alina Clover is a great character. Sakamoto Days, is this season 1? Yeah, I think this is Sakamoto Days season 1. I'm putting that there. Even though Sakamoto Days isn't what I expected it to be. And I have to put an asterisk on it because I wound up watching it because my best friend was really interested in the anime. And I have some gross misconceptions about what he likes and what he's interested in because I don't talk anime to him very much. So Sakamoto Days is far more shonen-y than I expected, which isn't a bad thing because the animation is good. The action is good, the animation is good. But I figured there would be more plot to it than it is, which again, it's not a problem. It's still good, but yeah, I didn't expect to go into it under the assumption of I'm here because it's cool to look at. So it was always jarring to sit there for a while and it's like, yeah, I'm really here for the action because when y'all are talking about the plot, I don't really care too much. But yeah, it's a good time. It was a good time. I don't know if season 2's on here. I'm trying to glance. This is why the problem with thumbnails. Season 2 is going to be right there. Anyways, moving on. What is this next thing? Solo leveling 2. I'm trying to think. So the default place to put solo leveling in any capacity is here because solo leveling is great. I don't care what people say. I know most people say it is great. There's a few people who are like, I hate action, so because it's action, it's got to be here. The only thing I'm questioning is there's the chick, like the elf chick or the demon chick, and that actually dropped it down to like here for me because I was like, this does not feel like what solo leveling should have in any capacity, especially this abruptly. But I can get over it. Solo leveling is good. Based off a manhwa, the story of the dude who starts at the bottom and he struggles and he struggles and he strives to climb the ranks and he does, and the come up story. I don't really have a whole lot to say about it other than it's good. I don't think I need to say a whole lot about it other than it's good. Somebody like action? Sure, solo leveling. You interested? Try it. I highly doubt you'll be disappointed. Yeah, it's good. Is this getting into spring? It is. All right. A ninja and an assassin under one roof. I had fun with it. So this is that was one of those things where I was initially going to watch it. I read the synopsis and I was like, this sounds funny. I want to try it. And I didn't try it like the moment it was available to watch. So I wound up being like, I'm sure most people did, where they posted somewhere on social media, on Twitter, on X, on Twitter, on Blue Sky. You saw the GIF from the GIF, whichever one you like, from scene one. You saw the fight from episode one, and you're like, why is this animation this good for this no-name anime? Like that was the running meme at the time. Like there was some high production big name anime that season. I forget what it was, and it had like 10 frames of animation. No, it wasn't One Punch Man season 3. We're getting down there, but there was that thing, and then there was this goofy ass no name ninja assassin anime Ninkoro, and it's like this is some of the best animation this year, and that's when I decided to watch it, and it's hilarious. They have good jokes. They have good references. It's funny. I don't want to say it has specifically a great plot, but I like how it's an anime where, even though it's a comedy with sporadic plot, the plot is consistent and carries over from episode to episode. The thing that makes me question putting it down here was there was a gag. There's a gag in the middle that they run for a very long time, and it gets very stale. But even still, it's like, y'all did it, and you stuck with it. So I don't hate you for it, even though I technically hated the concept of it. But yeah, it was funny. It was a good time. It was everything it was supposed to be. Quick one and done. If there is a second season, I'll be all for a second season, but I highly doubt there will be a second season. But it was fun. What is this? Lico Rico, Friends Are Thieves of Time. It was like a 6-episode short OVA. That's not a misclick. That's not a misclick at all. I was very vocal about not liking this OVA, but I don't like it because I really like Lico Rico. I like Chisato Takina. I don't even remember the other characters. I like the action. The OVA is not about the action. OVA, I mean, there's like very small spats of action. There's like 2 or 3. But it's an OVA that is literally just a filler and a teaser leading up to whatever is next. Either season 2 or the movie. I don't know what it's supposed to be, but it's the next arc. So it's not supposed to have anything. It's supposed to just remind you that Liko Rico is a thing. So I was just genuinely displeased with watching minute and a half long episodes of just random outings at the cafe. It's not honestly this bad. It's like, it really is here, but this is down here because of bias. This is down here because of extreme bias. I won't even lie. My Hero Academia Vigilantes. Man, I hate Pop Step. I put this up here because of the animation. Hold before I do this because I have to think. Yeah. I haven't really put too much thought in the order, but I've been slapping these up here. Yeah. I had more fun than with Ninkuro than Sakamoto Days. Blue Exorcist is up here with an asterisk. Yeah, okay. Vigilantes. Put it here. I am ultimately meh on My Hero Academia. It has too many characters. Just as people always point out, spot the main character. Good luck. As a whole, I only really care about the plot when it revolves around Uraraka. Because she is my favorite character. She's the only character I like in the entire series. This is Vigilantes. This is before any of the UA class existed. So, by default, I should put it down like here, right? Because, man, I hate Pop Step. But I really like the animation in here. I really like the animation. I really like the comic effects that they put in there. And I have to say that because it had been so long since I'd seen My Hero Academia that I didn't remember if it was in the base series or not. But I specifically remember that it was in Vigilantes. And that alone was enough to make me think really highly of this series. I was actually interested to see the animation, to see the action sequences. I didn't think too much of the plot, one, because of what I just said, but two, I was never really versed in the plot to begin with. So, before this season even, before Vigilantes even started, I had to look up what it was, because I'm not a manga reader. I haven't read a manga in well over a decade, almost 2 decades at this point. So it's like, what is this? Is this like a spinoff? Is this like side story? It's a prequel spinoff from another a writer, if I understand correctly. But yeah, like I didn't know what it was, so I wasn't really too invested in the plot itself because I'm not really invested in My Hero Academia's plot. So I just had to take it for face value. I understood what they were putting on the table, and I wholeheartedly believe that if you are invested in the plot, this is a really good upbringing for why things are the way they are, why the heroes that are around were the way they are, and how things are, yada yada. I didn't think too much of it. I liked the animation, and I liked it enough that I think it's high tier. I think it's good. Now this, I thought long and hard about if I wanted to do this, because I usually never talk about this if I ever watch one. Please put them on Takamine. Alright, before I move this, let's start with one thing. Dogy, why did you watch this? So, every season, I go to AniChart, and if you go to AniChart, you know what it has and what it doesn't have on there. And I will read everything because of what it doesn't have on there. Easily filters out things that I absolutely will not deal with, alright? But before a season starts, they do have things that are borderline ecchi, Okay. I read all the synopsises. And when I'm making my initial pass on anime, when I read the synopsis and I see the ecchi tag, which that is one tag I look for because I fear shit like this. I'm like, is this synopsis interesting enough that I will give it a try? And I read the synopsis of this and I was like, okay, this could be godlike. I could imagine this being hilarious. But this could easily be hot garbage. Hot garbage. Now, here's the thing. It's hot garbage for two very specific reasons that have nothing to do. Okay, one of them kind of sort of does, but realistically, they have nothing to do with just the base problem of it being ecchi and like extremely ecchi. Okay, thing number one. Okay, two things. There are two things that made me realize some preferences that I have or things that I dislike, and this is now the baseline. Thing number one, I really, really, really hate plot points or like, yeah, plot points, plot lines that starts with female blackmailing dude, because by the end of this first episode, I said, and I quote, and I do not use these words lightly, I hate this bitch Takamine. I hope by the end of this anime, she's fucking miserable. If she's even around. I hope she's not around somehow. Yeah, that was an extremely garbage first episode to watch because of the setup leading into the premise of the anime. But the second thing, and this is the far most egregious thing, and this is the thing that has and will literally shape how I think of anime from now on. TLDR for the premise of this anime, please put them on Takamine. This chick, Takamine, high school girl, has some magical powers. When she takes off her panties, she rewinds time. When this happens, they play this whole long, it's like a minute, I think it was minute 37. I have to find the time somewhere. I should have had the time before. It's like a minute and a half long animation. And it's the same animation of like clock rewinding, doors closing, gears spinning, a butterfly. It's a canned animation to show that time is rewinding, right? And if this were to happen like once, maybe twice, maybe even thrice in a 12 or 13 episode core, you wouldn't think of anything of it. But since it's the premise of the anime, it happens every episode. And it's like, okay, well, they recycled animations. Yeah, we already kind of flagged people for that. What's the premise? The thing that crossed my mind in like episode 3 was, wait, this is effectively the same thing as a Mahou Shoujo transformation. Magical girl for people who just only deal with dubs. This is literally the same thing as a magical girl transformation, where they transform into the outfit, they play the iconic animation, the iconic sequence of getting to the outfit, the uniform, the gloves, the boots, the wand, maybe the tiara, whatever. And I was like, in all of the anime that I've ever watched, I have never put any thought into it. Because that just comes with the territory, and you're cool with it. Cardcaptor Sakura, Madoka, Sailor Moon, Symphogear, like pick your Mahou Shoujo. It's always there. Never thought of it. But when I was sitting here already irate at this character and seeing her go through her antics and go through this animation time and time again. I was like, man, I hate everything about it. And that was when I realized, oh, this isn't anything new. I just haven't cared because the other characters were cool. But now that I hate this one, I am trying to find every single fault that I can put my finger on. And so now I am forever going to question seeing like a repeat transformation sequence because of this trash anime. And that's why, and those two reasons are why it's down here. It's not that it's ecchi. If it was just ecchi, I wouldn't even mention it because it'd be trash, and I'd be like, man, I shouldn't have clicked this. Like, pretty much any other of the handful of things I've clicked, it's like, this is garbage. But it is those two things that I am so like adamantly against because it's changed my personal perspective on media. God, I hate me some Takamine. But yeah. Normally I wouldn't mention this, but I have to use the word passionate. I am so passionately against those 2 points that I am willing to put this out there that I watched this because those were so bad. Those were so bad. Oh, man. All right. I might need a second bottle of water. Fuck Takamine. Windbreakers 2. Yoink. Windbreakers 2 was so good. Windbreakers is... I'm trying to think of how to describe this. Because season 1 was so good. You could say because of the plot. It was like the high school gang, the high school boys want to protect the town. The edgelord trying to fit in with the friends, yada yada. But season 1 was so cool because it's yet another good animation, action anime, but the characters had so much unique identity. Like especially when they got down to the big fight for like the last portion of season 1. Like you get to see such like unique contrast between the characters and their styles, and they're animated well. Season 2 didn't have so much of that, but it was still there. But the thing that really carried season 2 was literally the plot. What's his name? Tsubaka? I think that's his name? His name? Yes, it is his name. Because that's another interesting point. But yeah, like Tsubaka, I think that's his name. His story, so good. And that is so good on top of, again, what was established in season 1 with the action and animation of Windbreaker. It was just flat out a good time. It's another one I don't really have to say a whole lot about. I would almost go as far as to tell people, like, if anybody asked me if they should watch Windbreaker, and whatever reason they asked, like, for season 2 specifically, I'd be like, no, the story's good enough that you can do it. You can totally do it. But, yeah, it was a good time. Had a really good time. Yaiba? Yeah, this is Yaiba. Ooh, Yaiba's hard. Yaiba is hard. Yaiba's hard because it's a reboot of an old... I know it had an anime. I don't know if it was originally a manga. And you can tell it just by watching, and again, it's another thing where like you look at how they go about things, how the characters are. You can tell that I want to say that the manga was from like the 90s, but it's like it feels 80s, 70s. It feels old. It feels like it kind of has some of that some of those dated themes and thoughts. it, if you've ever delved in any of it, it feels very similar to, or it feels in the ballpark of, Urusei Yatsura is the most recent thing to it, which then wants me to say Ranma is in the ballpark, but I still haven't watched the Ranma reboots, so I can't say that for. But it feels in that vein, right? So, with that being said, like the plot is cool, but once it starts hitting its strides, like until it hits a unique point, you don't really think too much of it. But the real selling point of the Yaiba, and I guess this has just been a trend lately for what I've been saying, is the animation. It had some really cool, really unique action animation. Why does it seem like everything that's up here except for Mao Mao? Um, but the thing that I struggle with is, even though the animation is good, the middle segment of the plot is so throwaway that I actually shelved it for a while and I didn't think too much of it, and I had to force myself to hop back on it because it's like, yeah, I just want to see what happens. I don't really care about like the whys because you you're traveling, getting the Dragon Balls. Oh wait, you're not calling them Dragon Balls to go fight the big bad. Semi spoiler: the cliffhanger at the end of season 1. I guess it's this season 1 because the way it's set up. In the end, there's like, oh, there's gonna be more. That's really amusing how everything panned out, but yeah, I didn't really care till then. So where would I put this? I realistically have to say like here, yeah. I The beginning was cool. The beginning was really cool, but then it dissolved. And then the end was really cool. But the middle was the middle, so I just cared about show me what's happening. It's kind of a hard one, but it would be one where, man, I want to see some cool I want to see some cool, fairly unique action anime. Something that doesn't look like the same thing that is just running the ratings. I don't want to see the big shonens. I don't want to see Jujutsu Kaisen, My Hero Academia, Chainsaw Man, Demon Slayer. Show me something else. Yaiba. Yaiba would be right there. And Shirley. God, and Shirley's a hard one. And Shirley. All right. And Shirley has to at least be A, not because of Anne with an E, but because the anime is so good that it got me genuinely interested in a show where the source was a Canadian fiction novel. Like that's just a source in itself. And it is quite literally just slice of life about an orphan girl who lives in, God, I don't remember what part of Canada because I'm an American. I'm an ignorant American that doesn't know anything about the country above me, below me, or any other country except for my country. But no, Anne Shirley is such a good story. Anne Shirley is such a great character. So is Diana Barry, her best friend. Diana is the homie. Diana is like the Tomio to Anne Shirley Sakura. They're such great characters. But Anne Shirley has the same problem, to me, has the same problem that Apothecary Diaries has, where it's like, I've been trying to sell people on it, and then I was like, brother, if you're not really interested in the story of an orphaned redheaded Canadian girl, how do I get you to watch this? What are you interested in? And even one of my good anime friends that I talk to on social media a lot, like he's the one who really got me to think about it, because he's like, Doug, yeah, I see you going on about this, but I look at it and it's like, it just looks boring. And I'm like, I can't argue this because it's just slice of life. I don't know how to sell you on this. It's it's a novel made into an anime. If you were to tell me to go read the book, I would tell you to jump off a cliff. But because you give me bright, colorful, animated pictures, I'm here, and now I'm interested. So, I really have to put it here. Cause yeah, I'll just like Anne Shirley so much. I like her more than anything that was happening here. Anything that was happening here. I had a great time with this anime, but a lot of the wonder for me was simply you gave me a novel in anime form and you've tricked me into liking it. What if you did more? And now I'm really interested. Uh, Coulon generic romance. Where in S does it go? It's S. Um, unless I'm forgetting. Hold. I'm like glancing through everything. Yeah, this is the best romance of 2025. Better than Apothecary Diaries, yes. Better than Apothecary Diaries. My bias is gonna keep Mau Mau in that number one spot. Yeah, actually, it has to go here. Story of Kujirai Reiko. Like, it's so good. Well, one, the animation is so good because, or the art style, because it's like early 90s, late 80s, and early 90s, late 80s style. So it's just jarring and unique nowadays. It's really cool. Adult themed, not like erotica adult themed, but like adult themed narrative, adult themed characters. Um, just the whole plot was very stark and unique compared to the norm for today. But the thing that's really cool about it, and you kind of get spoiled just by listening to me or even like reading anything about it. Because one of the cool things about it was just trying to figure out what the hell is going on. Like, what the hell is the actual point? Like, what is actually happening? Because not only is it a good romance, it was a really good mystery. It had great characters, uh, great plot, great theme. Is good. Is all around good. Really and truly, the only reason that I don't have it right here is I'm extremely biased for Mau Mau. But Kujirai Reiko is a great character. Okay. And then, yeah, who would I recommend this to? Anybody. I've been recommending this to anybody. Do you like romance? Yes. Coulon generic romance. Great. Do you like romance? No. Guess what? Watch it anyways. It's literally that good. Like it's different from most romance. It's it's just good. Like during spring, that's literally what I was telling anybody. It's like I don't want to tell you anything about it. I when I think about it, I feel bad even mentioning anything at this point because of the mystery. But it's so good. Just watch it. Just watch it. To Be Hero X. So everything that I just said about this and how Mau Mau gets this spot, this goes here. But here's the kicker. It's that good. To Be Hero X. And maybe I should have slotted this in somewhere at the end. No. Like it didn't happen in the end. To Be Hero X. I'll just go ahead and say is my favorite anime of the year. To Be Hero, that series, which is from some big production Chinese company. I've only seen Heroine in Hero X. I haven't watched Hero yet, but I assume Hero fits in the same mold of they're all high production, insane quality animations that have a very outlandish but relatable narrative on the times, or well, not specifically the times, but like a relatable, like narrative, a relatable message. To Be Hero X has the same thing. Everybody can be a hero, but what does it mean to be a hero? Who's actually a hero? So on and so forth. But the real kicker is the animation. I I probably should have pulled up my tweet to show this, but it is literally mind numbing to watch the anime. And you have to watch. You will watch, if you're gonna try this just based off of listening to this. You'll watch the first episode, and you may or may not be sold on it. It kind of depends on what your stance is on where they start. And this is a little bit of a spoiler to say where they start, but watch. It makes no sense to see how much diversity they have in the animation throughout the entire series. I've gone on record. I'm on record now, and I will be on record to say I have and will tell people that the last episode is worth watching by itself just to see the amount of insane animation that they pack into one episode. It literally makes no sense. Like, how? How do they do that much, that fluidly, that well? And I have legitimately told people it's worth watching the last episode with no understanding of what's happening. It's the best thing I've seen this year, or last year, 2025. I won't be told otherwise. I won't be swayed off of that. I don't really care about like the romance, the drama enthusiasts who are like, oh, people just like action because they like seeing things happen. No, the animation's that good. Better than Mau Mau. That was a good time. Witch Watch. And this is Witch Watch Season 1, because I think Season 2 was up here. They're both going to go in the same place. Witch Watch. Each Nissan. That's Season 2. Witch Watch is a really good rom-com. It's a really good reverse harem rom-com. I actually have never thought about it being a reverse harem until now. Yeah, it's a really good reverse harem rom-com. It just has really good jokes, really good references. It's really fun. Had a really good time. Nico's a great character. Yeah, I don't remember any of the other characters' names. I just remember some of the references. Some of the pulls are so good. There are so many. Man, y'all said what in 2025s? This does some cool things. Where would I put this? It might actually go here. Yeah, I never got tired of it, so. Huh. Yeah, I never got tired of it, so it's good fun all around. Zatsutabi. Okay, this one is unfair. And I'll explain why this is unfair. Let me think about where I want to put this first. It's better than Thieves of Time. I do have, this is the first one that goes in C. This is not a C tier anime. This is not a low tier anime. This is honestly a high tier anime. But I'm putting this low tier. I read the synopsis, and I built up what's the word I'm looking for? prejudice? I built up a big presumption in my head. That's good enough. I I presumed and assumed that I was effectively walking into Yuru camp, right? And this realistically is just Yuru camp for the most part. And I love Yuru camp. So why is this down here? Because in watching Zatsutabi, I realized that one thing that the main thing that, well, I can't say the main thing. One of the big things that I really liked about Yuru camp is that, one, it got me interested in the idea of camping, which I never would have ever thought of beforehand. And two, I like the characters. Zatsutabi is really and truly an anime, really the manga, because I did happen to get algorithmed a bunch of stuff from the creator. It's a work about a lot of landmarks in Japan, like modern, historical, just a lot of hot spots in Japan. But that's really it. That's really, really it. And if you're not interested in modern or historical hotspots in Japan, there really isn't anything else. Because the whole anime is, there's this manga writer. I need inspiration. All right, Twitter, here's a poll. What direction am I going? We're going north. Hop on to whatever transportation. We're going north. What do we see up here? I didn't plan on anything. We're going to see some stuff. Well, actually, she did plan trips, but yeah, it's just going to see stuff. And it was a bunch of detailed information about all the locations that she went. This anime, if you're interested in modern and or historical landmarks in Japan, or if you're going to take a trip to Japan, this goes like here, this goes here. This is really good. If you're just watching something in passing, I take that back. If you're looking for like just a laid back thing to throw on in the background just for background noise, I would even put it here. Maybe even here. It fits here. If you were watching with the hope of finding like Yuru Camp spinoff, I don't think it's it. This is a pretty good example of this is just not a Dogy anime, but I came in with unfair bias against it. Again, I really think this is solid. It just wasn't what I was looking for. Yeah, Zatsutabi was okay. Fire Force Season 3. God, what happened Season 3? Fire Force, this is Season 3. Okay, this helps. This is Season 3, Core 1. Core 2 is happening right now. And so this was... God, that end was weird. I'm just remembering the end where they have the segment of them showing like a video montage from literal 1970 or whatever. I was like, what are y'all doing? Oh man. This is my tier list. I can put this where I want it. I generally don't think too high of Fire Force. I could try to say the animation is cool, right? And I'm here just for that. And I would put it with the rest of like the modern shonens. I really do want to say that, right? But one, the only characters I like are Iris and Maki. I'm surprised I remember Iris's name because they never call her Iris. They've only said her name like 3 times in 3 seasons. They always call her sister, and I usually never remember her name. But those are the only 2 characters I like. I hate Tamaki. Really and truly, I want to put this down here because of Tamaki. I would put it higher if Tamaki didn't exist. I hate her so much. I'm one of those people. More on core 2 when it's hopefully done. But yeah, I really just don't care about Fire Force at all. Like, more so than anything else that fits in the mold. Because even though I like Iris and Maki, they don't do anything for me. So there's so much more that detracts away from it than adds to it. And then everything else is just the same for me. I don't think too highly of Fire Force. I can't even really say anything about it because when I think of Fire Force, it's literally, man, I hate Tamaki. So yeah, I can't even remember what really happened in this first half. I remember the premise when I said it's season 3, which is the first half. It was like the details I don't really care. I don't really even think I'm being unfair. Like, if you like Fire Force, you're putting it up here, but like, nah, I can't really say a whole lot about it. Of everything that fits into that mold, it's the one that I just want to be done. I really just want it to be done. Lazarus. Oh, this is hard. This one is hard. God. It's hard because instinctively I want to do this. Because I don't think Lazarus was good. But I always heavily question, am I being unfair? And there are things I like about it. So I feel like I put it here. Because yeah, this is pretty much my line of, did I actually enjoy what was happening? So I have to do this. Did I actually enjoy what was happening? For the most part, yes. Lazarus. So my problem with Lazarus, I am fairly confident, is in the fact that I watched the dub. Or I listened to the dub, however you want to frame that. I know it's supposed to be listened, but I watched the dub. I'm pretty sure a sub exists, but what was readily available was the dub. And I did not like the dub. And this does not even include my bias against dubs. Spoiler alert, this does not include my bias against dubs. We'll get to that later, obviously. It does not include that. But I feel like the dialogue pacing was extremely off. And it was very detracting and disappointing. I liked everything else about Lazarus. The plot is cool. Like the plot is up here. It's a really cool premise to a plot. I like that. The cast, I actually do like the cast. The action was good. The animation was good. It is just the dialogue was so not good that alone really made me question everything else. And it got to the point where it was like I started pointing at specific characters. I was like, dear Lord, they sound like they've never read a script before, and this sounds so bad. But eventually one of them makes sense. Like, there's a reason why one character sounds like that. So I'm like, how much can I really hang over this? I really want to believe in Watanabe, even if he didn't really want to do this from what I understand. I don't know how true that is or not, but I I spent the entire season watching Lazarus always asking, what do I really think about this? There are things I like, but there are things I really dislike. So I don't know where to put it. Ultimately, I don't regret watching it because again, I really like the plot. I really like the action. I really like the characters. It was just the delivery. I really question if I watched it subbed, would I like it a lot more? I don't know. But either way, it was good. This God, see, this is hard to say. Like, I had a good time, but oh man, the voice acting, the 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 pacing of the delivery of the voice acting. Oh man, all right, I just have to leave that because I can sit on a soapbox about that. Aha Ren Season 2. Uh, Goes right here, right? Because if you ask me in passing if I like Aha Ren, I always say I don't. But I always think of the base premise of the all of or yeah, pretty much all of the plot, all the narratives, all the events in the anime are driven by a lack of communication from the characters, and I absolutely hate that. But then I think about the antics of Aharen. I think about the jokes, the gags, and I'm like, yeah, they're actually pretty funny. I can't even lie. So, like when I think back of Aharen, and I even think back of season 2, it's like it was a good time. Like I think about the big gag for the last, not the ending segment, which the fact that they had an ending segment and they did what they did was interesting and amusing and good. But like the last big one was like, yeah, that's very Aharen. But even though this is what I dislike about it, it's funny that they did it, and I get the joke. It's a good joke, so that was a good time. It's just I think about the base, and I kind of shiver inside. I'm like, Aharen was good. This is genuinely good. This is like the line right here. I think it has to be like, this is my bar line of did I enjoy it? This is the literal line. Catch me at the ballpark. No, I do have to put it here. Do I put it here? Yes. Catch Me at the Ballpark is so cool. It's so cool. I had to get past the first episode because it's a rom com. First off, it's a rom com, but I walked into the anime the wrong with the wrong premise. Uh, Another one of my good anime friends that I talk to quite often, one that actually actively gives me sales pitches for animes, recommended this. Is like, yo, let's watch this. Like, it came up on my YouTube recommendations. Let's watch this. And he is a baseball enthusiast. I was like, okay, I'll try it. I mean, you generally don't miss, even if you come up with some wild things. You do miss sometimes, but I'll try this. This is different. This is a baseball anime of some kind. And I did see it on Anichart, and I was like, okay, it's a rom com. The first episode was extremely rough because I can't stand the main guy. I don't even remember his name. Just wishy-washy Japanese salary man. I can't stand him. He's terrible. But the thing that winds up being really cool about the anime is when you realize, yes, it's a rom-com, but it's actually a sketch comedy about many different many different people, many different moving pieces. That's what I was looking for. Many different people that are either in or interact with the ballpark. And so there's so many cool characters with their different lines, and they just all fit under different rom-coms. And it winds up being an overall narrative about just the family of a Japanese baseball team. Not like a literal family, but like a bunch of people who come as a collective community. That's a far better word than family. Like a community around a baseball team. And so it is just a cool, unique, interesting, amusing, different take of an anime. And so yeah, it was really enjoyable to look for. What is next? I don't even know what. Oh no, I know what this is because this goes into fall. This is. Wait, where is this in here? No, it's not fall. Summer. I lied. I don't know my seasons. Betrothed to my sister's ex. I'm looking at S, but I'm like, man, I have bias for the characters. Uh mm, I think I put it here. If anybody's ever asked me, like, what are my criteria for, like, when I'm reading synopsises, what are my criteria for what I choose to try? If it's a new season, this Betrothed to My Sister's Ex has to be one of the craziest things that people, the people who talk to me about anime, is one of the craziest things they probably heard. Any of my good friends who know me very well would understand this is exactly the reason why I would try something. And I just happened to walk into a really, really good romance rom com that I really liked. The entire reason that I watched this anime is simply because I love the colors on this girl's dress. That was it. I saw the thumbnail. I was like, whoa. I love the colors of that dress. It's a vivid yellow dress on a redhead. Her being a redhead didn't mean too much, but just a vivid yellow dress. I will try the anime based off that alone. And it's effectively another Cinderella story. Marie is such a good character. Curios is such a good character. The reason why I had to hold my bias is because Mio is an amazing character. Mio is one of my favorite characters of 2025, and I'm like, man, it's kind of criminal that they didn't go too much into her backstory. But Curios' mom is a good there's so many good characters. The real base concept in my head about Betrothed to My Sister's Ex is that it's my happy marriage, but Marie just doesn't get shit on the entire season like Mio does. So it was far more enjoyable because they're literally the same thing. They're Cinderella stories about two women who are brought up in god awful upbringings. Uh, I was trying to remember if like Mio's parents really hated her. Her mother wasn't around. That's part of her story. Her father gave her to her stepdad, if I remember correctly, or something like that. That's where she winds up with Kaya and her stepmom or something like that. But yeah, like Marie, her parents are terrible. Her sister is not. Her sister really looks out for her, but she winds up in a scenario with, or she winds up hooking up with Kyrios, and like she winds up in a great place, and you just adjectives and descriptions that sound really weird for me to say. You really get to see a flower bloom and blossom into a great character, and that's just so cool. You get to see the ups and downs, the trials and tribulations, but you get to see Marie just literally flourish into a great character, and she's not just getting hammered into the ground time and time again. And so it's interesting and engaging to watch. This has just a really good cast, really good rom-com. I hope there's more. But yeah, that was a good time. Did you like My Happy Marriage? Do you wish better for Mio? Yes? Betrothed to my sister's ex. Next topic. What is this? Yeah, I can't tell what this is by the thumbnail. Clavatis. Alright, how high up does this go? This goes above Witch Watch. Yes. Would I put this above Solo Leveling? Season 2? Yes. Would I put it above Windbreaker? No. Clavatis is so good. Yeah, kind of along the lines of what I was just saying, just the upbringing of a female character. Although she wasn't brought up in a horrible situation, like she fell on horrible times. Poor Alice. But that isn't even like the entire driving force of the plot. Although she is a main character. But yeah, it's just really and truly this dissolves down to another good action, another good animated action anime. Memorable moment. Episode 8 will live in my mind forever, for forever. Cause yeah, they did that, and yeah, that's not my best thing to deal with. I should slide this right next to the Taibon. If you know, you know. Yeah, Clavatis was really good. Waiting for season 2. Yeah, I don't really have a whole lot to say about it other than it's just like good, solid action anime. Um, good plot, good characters. I don't have too much to say without like spoiling some part, because there are some good, really good, literally powerful events that happen in there. But yeah, I don't want to detail them too much. Like there's one event in there that, yeah, every time I think about it, I'm like, yeah, I will never truly understand. I will never truly be able to grasp like the literal feeling that a person would have going through that. But it is really cool that they did it, and the effect was there. It was good times. City the Animation. It's S. How high up S? So, okay. It goes like this. If I was not biased, I would put it here. But it is not better than Mau Mau. It is not better than this mystery that I didn't know I was walking into. Uh, it might actually be better than Tsubaka. Who am I kidding? That really is better than Tsubaka. Who am I kidding? Hey, you like Nichijou? What if we made more Nichijou? That's yeah, it's City the animation. The story of all these characters in the city, all of these different personalities in the city is insane, insane hand drawn animation, bringing all of these great narratives to animation, and apparently not all of them, because some people are really distraught that there were some really key, really big, interesting arcs in the manga that didn't make it. But even then, it was like, oh, did you see the city segment with, God, I forget how many. It was like 8 or 9, maybe even more, different animations all at the same time, and it was half the episode. And then did you see the city race? Like, for okay, except for To Be Hero X. Pretty much for any time this season, I probably say or have said the animation is so good. This is the peak. This is the peak. But realistically, it's like, are you looking for a sketch comedy, gag comedy with amazing animation? That's what you're here for. And I mean, that's a really good thing because that's so easy to just throw on and look at. But that's really it. I do remember watching it, and I was kind of like, I questioned if I liked Nichijou, because I don't ever really remember anything about Nichijou other than some of the iconic scenes. I don't remember the premise. I don't remember the detail. I mean, I know there wasn't like a main premise, but I don't remember the details of Nichijou. Just like I probably won't remember the big premise of City the Animation, even though I feel like that's more finite and focused. But it's, you really can't argue that it is top notch animation, and that's all it was ever asked to do. It's great. Let me keep on moving. My Dress Up Darling 2. Marin Kitagawa is a good character. Animations are great. Everybody memed on Noah. I think that's her name. Her one small friend. Uh the animations, yeah. The animations are better than Nico's existence. They're better than, yeah. She's not going above this line. She's not going above City. Don't have to think about that. She's better than Tsubaka. She's better than Alice. She's better than Tsubaka. Easily. Easily, yeah. Because along with just saying so many good, so many good animations, it's like so much good variety in animations. Because it was just like the base anime, and then all the sudden chibi, all the good reactions, um, just the base premise of we're gonna take these characters, this character or characters, and they're going to we're since they're cosplayers, we have all these different outfits for them for all of their different photo shoots, for their sessions, so on and so forth, which leads to another really good thing. One amazing thing about My Dress Up Darling is because modern gets her source from so many different things. There are so many segments where they have like anime within an anime or game within an anime, which has a completely different art style, a completely different animation direction, and it's also good. There are at least 4 or 5 animes within the animes, or like sources within the animes, where it's like, could you please just make like an OVA about this itself? Whatever the bunny girl action anime in season 2, it's like, could you please just? It was like Doranjo pretty much, or Yatterman. It felt like that, like bunny girl Yatterman. Please make an OVA of that. You could make a one-off. It has so many of those. Yeah, My Dress Up Darling was good times, good times. Marin and Gojo. What? Oh, man. Turkey Time to Strike. Oh, man. Okay. God. So, this is another really hard one to do. And I feel like this is the one that I have to do this the most with. No, this is a review, so I have to talk about it some. God, it's so hard. Because I walked into Turkey because I read very specifically the synopsis on Anichart. And if you read the synopsis on Anichart and then you watch the first episode, you watch the whole thing, you watch the end, and you literally say, what the fuck? And then you watch the second episode and you're like, what the fuck? And they've got you hook, line, and sinker, and you're just you wonder what's the gag. But if you read anywhere else, and I double checked in other places, the other places tell you too much. They give you one extra line, and literally one extra line changes the entire scope of the anime. For me, it was like, the anime is really just mediocre in throwaway. I'm trying to think of where I'm putting this. Because it's so hard for like how I've been rating these so far. Cuz if I go off of like how much did I enjoy it, I would genuinely have to put it like right here. Because I did have a good time. I was constantly engaged. I was constantly interested. But when it was all said and done and I saw the end result, it realistically was like, I think here. Cause not a lot really happens. Like, it's a wild ass idea, and it's it's different, it's unique, but really the whole driving force of the anime is a rug pull. And like even listening to this, a lot of the amusement is gone from the anime because you know there's a rug pull. I there wasn't anything really amazing or interesting to it to me. I liked I this is something I said earlier, so I can use this again for continuity. I did like the pacing of the dialogue between the characters, although it was really like call and response and parroting between the two, but it felt really natural for how the group was. But that was like the only thing I liked, and that wasn't enough to move the needle. Like there was nothing else past that. There were so many things I questioned in the anime. How do they keep a cell phone? How do they keep battery charges that long? Like, huh? But yeah, it's cool because it's random. But once you get done with it, if you take an unbiased, unfiltered look on it, you're like, nothing really happened. So it's just you just can't do this again. And I guess one thing that I really have to point out about this is I honestly should put this lower because there was a rug pull and because I actually wanted the base premise of what the synopsis had. Like I actually got lied to, and that was a bit of a problem. But I can't pretend like I didn't have a good time. But all of my amusement is, what are y'all getting at? So yeah. What is this? Vending Machine 2. Yeah, okay. Like I was sitting here thinking about it. My base thing, Heavy, I think that's his name. That dude weird. That dude weird. Why y'all do that? That dude weird. And it's like if y'all down with that, you can have that, sure. But like, I, that just seemed like a really random thing to throw in as a plot point, a characteristic, and then turn into a plot point. Like, y'all ain't had to do that. But my real problem was it fits into everything I dislike about Vending Machine, which in the beginning, Vending Machine was actually cool, and I liked it because it was a completely different look on. Well, I can't say completely. It was a unique look on isekai, right? And when they were going over the rules of Boxo, Hako, whatever his name winds up being in English, that was fine. But then it slowly just started dissolving into not even just like insane power creep, but just the degeneracy of it really started to irk me. And then we hit season 2, because see, everything I just said except for Heavy, or whatever the dude's name is, just the base premise, that was all season 1. Season 2 hit. Why do we have like a rom-com harem for a vending machine? What are y'all doing out there? Y'all should stop that. Y'all actually had something going, but y'all wanted to go down this line. Y'all weird. Yeah, I watch Vending Machine so I can give my fair opinion about it and how much I don't like it, and I don't like it. It was cool in the beginning when we were like setting the boundaries and the rules for how Box worked, how Hako worked, but yeah, when they started hitting their strides and it was like just slowly started dissolving down and down and down. It's like, I don't really care to say too much of it. This is one of the things where I really just don't care at this point. I'll let it go. But I'm gonna keep watching it. It's just meh. With You in the Rain. God, comfy cozy anime about a woman who is she's some kind of writer. She's a novelist. She did write books. She's walking home one day in the rain and she finds this critter. It's like a tanuki, a dog, a raccoon. They never actually said what it was. They might have said at some point it's a tanuki, but it often claims to be a dog. Unless it's convenient to say it's a cat, then it says it's a cat. But it can understand language. And it can understand the woman, I can't remember her name, and it can actually write. So it can communicate. And it's just a slice of life. So good, so comfy, cozy. Did I like this more than Anne Shirley? Ooh, I have to say no because of what Anne Shirley did. But I wouldn't be opposed to this. But yeah, on top of everything I said, the soundtrack was really good because it was it's by design for the types of entertainment soundtracks for work soundtracks. It was it's technically God, what is it technically for? It's technically pop because it was technically created created for this and played for this, and it's not played like live along with it, but it had an orchestral feel because a lot of the soundtrack, even though they were using the same tracks for different episodes, a lot of the music was reactive to what was happening on screen, and it was a really cool effect. Yeah, all in all, this is just a good, comfy, cozy, unscrew the cap of your head, take your brain out, put it on the side, and just relax and vibe with what was going on kind of anime. That was a good time. That's who I'd recommend it to. I haven't been doing like who would I recommend it for. That's who I'd recommend it to. I guess I got to go back and do that at the end. But yeah, if you're just looking for something to burn time with, just throw it on, just unwind. Really good anime. Dan to Dan Season 2. Well, this goes here, at least. Yes, it's better than Nico. Yes. Song Ji Woo. Like I can't think of the dude's name. Song Ji Woo. Something like that. Better than Song. Better than Alice, yes. Better than Tsubaka, yes. God, this is hard. Because I ultimately like these two for the same reason. I guess I like these for the same reason. I think I have to put this here with bias. I think without bias, I put Dan to Dan over Dress Up Darling. But I think I have to put this. I think I have to put it below because of bias. because I effectively like these two for the same reason. Good, interesting, high production, unique animations. But there's bias for My Dress Up Darling because it has a bunch of good sudden chibi, a bunch of good reactions, a bunch of the anime and anime, just contrasting different unique animation styles for different segments. Dan to Dan has a lot of psychedelic, and I respect psychedelic, but I'm not really too fond of it. Like bizarre, spacey psychedelic. Oh, since I said spacey, that reminds me. There's like the big sci-fi segment of it. I'm just not a big sci-fi fan at all. But no, Dan to Dan is good. No matter what I say, Dan to Dan is good. Like there's a reason it's S. Anybody who says it's like below S is kind of crazy. Yeah, Dan to Dan is good. But yeah, I don't really have any problems with it. It fits into the modern shonen mold that I keep describing to people of all my homies hate blank, except we have one blank, and so we're cool with blank. Although it's not so bad as the other ones. But or it's not so egregious as the other ones. But yeah, like I'm sitting here thinking, is there anything that I genuinely dislike about Dan to Dan? No. But I just don't really favor psychedelic. And there's a lot of that. There's a good amount of the, man, what is actually happening here? Animations. Which, they look cool to see the moving colors and everything, but it's like, yeah, what's actually happening? So, I don't have a problem with that. But that's the kind of thing I'm thinking of where it's like, can I keep moving this up? But no, it's good. Solid. And as much I was thinking about who would I recommend this to, like people who like good animations, but then I also think about the whole coming of age story with Ocarine and Momo, and I guess the rest of the cast as well. ISA. God, I can't think of the other dude's name who was the like a main character in this arc. And it's like if you care about that, that's really good. I don't specifically care about it, but I acknowledge that it's really good because that's one of the main reasons a lot of people watch it is the romance between Ocarina and Momo. Like there's a lot of good in there. So yeah, I'm just there for the pretty colors and stuff moves and it looks cool. Ruri Rocks. Ruri Rocks, also known as Introduction to Mineralogy. It looked nice. I like the characters. I like Nagi more than what the internet implies because the internet only cares about 3 scenes. The internet swears up and down that it's an ecchi anime, but it's not. Uh, I'm trying to think how far up the ladder do I put this? Let's see. Well, it's clearly A. I mean, I stopped here before I started doing this. It's like it's clearly A. How much did I just flat out have a good time? I was interested in mineralogy, so yeah, that has to go above interested in a novel. Um, I like the cast. The animation, well, yeah, the animation. I guess I'd say the art is really good. the pretty rocks are really pretty. Um, I really like the characters. Can you do that? Yeah, I really like the characters. I really liked Nagi, Ruri, Imari. I can't even think of the fourth girl's name. I don't really care too much about her, but she's largely just there. But yeah, I really like uh Nagi, Ruri, Imari. I like them more than Nico. Yeah. Um, what am I doing watching an anime about rocks? But that's literally what it's about. And it looked cool enough. It looked very cool. The characters were good. Like it always makes me laugh whenever like and this happens every day. Like I go look on Twitter and have to deal with the algorithm. And anytime it wants to say anything about Ruri Rocks, if it's not somebody's fan art, if it's like a clip, it's always Nagi pulling out the, I guess it's a spike, the hammer spike or the hammer nail or whatever in episode 1. It's whatever episode she pulls roots out of. I can't remember if that's one or not. And then it's the maid outfit. And those are the only things. And it's like, no, there's actually so much more to the anime. And in fact, people who are trying to throw the anime under the bus because of the maid outfit. It's like, no, in the context, that maid outfit makes so much sense. And in fact, the maid outfit comes after 3 extremely good, non-egregious, non-edgy outfits. Like, there's so good outfits, which is why it's so good to see fan art of those. But then nobody ever said, there's never anything about the last episode at the hot spring, which is always like head scratcher. What are y'all getting at? But no, it's a really good anime. I'm sure if you actually cared about mineralogy, it's a very good detailed introduction to mineralogy. But even if you don't, which I did not in any real capacity, it was cool to watch. It was fun to watch. It was fun to watch Ruri go from a bratty, you don't know how old or what grade she's in until like a couple episodes in. It's cool to watch a bratty girl get interested in rocks. It's cool anime. Man, I should have got 2 bottles of water. All right. Secrets of the Silent Witch. Monica. I forget if Everett or Evans is her last name, her real one or not. God, there's some bias against this. Where do I put this? There's some bias for this. There's some bias against this. I guess I have to start here. Starting at the base. Did I enjoy it? Yes. Do I remember Monica's name? Yes. I don't remember Elf name. I remember Windra. I don't remember Elf. Better than Aharin. Better than Alina. Yes, for a biased reason. Better than Yaiba. Better than memorable moments of Blue Exorcist. Yes. Yes. The bias carries over my vigilantes. Did I actually enjoy what was happening? Not really. No. Okay. So I'm an outlier, or from what I understand, I'm an outlier for my opinion on Silent Witch. I I don't really like the premise. I don't really like the plot. Cause Monica is just a wishy-washy girl that goes along with what she's told for a reason that I don't, if I remember correctly, hasn't been entirely disclosed yet. It's like, you don't want to do this. Why are you doing this? And then she's just an introvert, a whiny introvert. And I'm like, man, I actually can't stand her. I don't really like any of the characters. But when I think about this anime, I actually think highly about it. And the reason why I think highly about it actually should put it God, it really should put it like right here. Like, no, like right here, yeah. But the thing I like about it is I like Monica's reactions. I like her reactions. I don't like what she's reacting to. I don't like that she's being a whiny introvert that just is willing to let people bully her into doing everything that she doesn't want to do, even if it's putting her life on the line. But I like the literal animation of her reactions. And that alone has been enough to realistically shut my mouth and keep me going throughout the anime. And wholeheartedly looking forward to season 2. I would think more of it if they actually expanded on the chess part, but they didn't, which is sad. Because I was so ready for an entire episode of chess. But, nah, like, really and truly, if I take that bias out, Silent Witch would be like right here, honestly. But yeah, my bias says it has to go right here. Yeah, it's like it just you tell them the stuff and you be quiet. Jeez, man. Solo Camp for 2. God, I can't even think of the main dude's name now. But Shizuku blackmailed him. No, it's not going down there. Solo Camp for 2. And apparently I have too high of an opinion of this. But not super, super high. It goes right here. So, in the beginning, I didn't like this. In the beginning, I didn't like this. One, because Shizuku blackmailed. Yeah, I still can't think of dude's name. I won't remember his name. I'd have to go look for something. And chick blackmails guy because she's an idiot and decides that she's gonna go camping by herself and just doesn't have anything for it and somehow falls in a river, and it's his fault, so he has to deal with her. It's like, no, dude is literally just trying to live his life and mind his own business. All right, but the real thing that I had against it in the beginning was, and I think this was described to be something along this lines, is I was expecting this to be another laid back anime that is supposed to sell me on the idea of camping. And they try to. But the problem is they half ass it. And I would have rather them whole ass it or no ass it. But over time, I wound up liking the anime a decent amount. Not a whole lot, but I wound up liking it a decent amount because I I did like the dynamic of both of them just warming up to the idea of traveling around, going to different sites, and camping with each other. One of the things that I really like is something, or another thing that I really like is something that I'm actually holding against it though, is I really dislike, since they were trying to sell camping, I dislike that they half-assed like all of the knowledge and prep of camping, but they had Shizuku cooking like every episode or every outing. And my problem with that was, I feel like if they made not a spin-off, but like an alternate, how do you put this? If they did the series again and they did it from Shizuka's point, and all of the time they spent explaining like all the different points of camping, the different gear regulations, so on and so forth, they explained her prep for her cooking. It would be as interesting, if not more, because she has some really cool and unique dishes made for camping, sometimes with like, how do you do this with what you have? And they just gloss over it. Even though they use it for the stingers for transitions, right? The before and after the ads. Even though they always spoil what she's cooking, right? They do very little talk about what she cooks. This is a slight spoiler for what's going to happen earlier. Or later. Earlier, yeah, whatever. If they went into detail about her cooking with the same amount of detail that happened in campfire cooking, I would think a lot more of Solo Camper 2. But they don't. So it's like, eh. I did like where it wound up at the end, though. I did like where it wound up at the end, because when it finally hit its stride and it really started falling into, I guess you say a rom-com, but it's more of a romance, that was an interesting dynamic of it. And that was a cool dynamic of it. But the thing that makes it really rough is you have to get there. And it's a long time before it gets there because it's 2 course. So ultimately, I was actually very okay with this. But it was a slow start. Who would I recommend this for? I'll come back and do that. Maybe. We'll see. Takapi's Original Sin. 6-episode OVA that is currently hailed as one of the best animes ever. I'm not exaggerating. This is like, I think it's in like it might be top 10 animes of all time at this point on a lot of places, but it's like top 20. I'm asking myself, is the message better than the animation? Yes. Is the message better than the mystery? It's not. But God, it's, if anybody says this, I don't blame them. If anybody says this, I don't blame them. If anybody says this, I don't blame them. Cause yeah, Takapi. Oh my, that first episode. That first episode. I I didn't know what I was walking into when I walked into this anime. Like I I had an idea, but I didn't know what I was walking into, right? And when I saw the first episode, I was like, ooh, we had to stop. We had to stop for a while. Did we cry? No. I don't know how I didn't. Yeah, if you don't know what Takapi is and you wind up watching it, I hope you're ready. It is it's heavy. Oh, it is heavy. I could say some things about that, but I will not do that here. Oh, Takapi is heavy, and it's so good. It's so good. It's so short. You can't call it sweet. You really can't call it sweet. But it's such a powerful and important message. It's good. It's good. Man. Oh, Takapi's original sin. I'm sitting there like, who would I recommend this for? Even though I said I was coming back to these or trying to come back to these, it's like, man, I still don't know, cause it's like, it's so good, but like if you know about it, you probably watched it because it's that good. If you don't know what it is, I don't know who is actively looking for that. Who doesn't know? It's like I just want to see a good anime. It's good, but man, that is not what you're thinking about when you want a good anime. Like I maybe it's because I don't talk to anybody who's looking for this. But like, are you looking to feel down? Are you looking to check yourself? Because that you have to be along those lines. Yeah, Tackle. Oh man, when I put this out, this just got recently dubbed too. So for the people who are like, I didn't watch it because it was subbed. No, no, y'all can come in too. Y'all can come through too. Yeesh. Uh, Demon Slayer, Mugen Castle, Infinity Castle. Oh, I don't know if I'll explain why I laughed because that's a major spoiler in the movie. God, bias warning incoming. Because again, just like Blue Exorcist, Fire Force, Demon Slayer fits into this mold. All my homies hate blank, except we got one blank. Then we're cool with this blank. One of those animes, Jujutsu Kaisen, Chainsaw Man also falls under that. They're all the same to me. I do like Demon Slayer's animation a whole lot more because that is the saving grace for it. I also like Nezuko. Nezuko's the only character in the entire anime that I like. Um, I do not like Shinobu. I think that's her name. Smile. I do not like Shinobu. Also do not like Kanroji at all. I wish she didn't exist. She's not as bad as Tamaki, but she's in the ballpark. Where would I put this though? God, it has to go at least here because of the animation. Because I will say, that was a long 2.5 hours. And I think there are people trying to tell me that 2.5 hours was normal for a movie. And I was like, you're on crack. I know I don't watch movies. I know I hate movies. But no, movies are not 2.5 hours long. And I felt miserable by the end of it, especially for the last segment, because I was like, I do not care. I do not care. show me what I care about. I don't care about this. But even past that, I have to acknowledge how good the animation was, which is unfair because it was a movie budget. How much do I value the animation? I realistically have to do this. I realistically have to do this. I might have to go higher. God, I have to go higher. Uh, it was that good. Was that good? Wait, where I go? Is that good? It was that good. Was that good? God, this is so unfair. I think that's where it has to go. I can't put it higher. And it feels so unfair to put it up here again because it had a movie budget, but the animation was so good in the action. All right, and I guess like the the transitions, the transitioning through the castle. But man, since I don't really care about the plot, all the expositions and the character stories and the dialogues and the monologues, I'm like, I don't care. I just don't care. And it's unfair that I don't care because that's part of the total package. But it was like, man, y'all really put this into 2.5 hours. I it, I honestly would not even go as far as to say I'm glad I went to see it. Cause yeah, before like the last segment, I was already like, man, I want to get out of here. I thought about getting up at some point and just leaving, but I was like, I'm in it for the long haul. Whether we sink or swim it, and we almost sunk. We almost sunk. If you know, you know. But yeah, it was just the animation is so good that I I will put it this high, in spite of the fact that I genuinely felt miserable at points solely because it's so long. But I'll also put it up here in spite of that because it's unfair for me to judge it on that base, even though this is my tier list, because I just hate movies. I feel like if I was okay with movies, I wouldn't have a problem with this being here. I might move it up a spot or two. But yeah, it's just in spite of that, the animation was so good that I'll leave it there. Like that was the part I liked. And if you do the math, there is one thing that I really did like about it in the plot. Smile. If you know, you know. But yeah, that was a good time when things were happening. Gotcha Yakuda. Rudo's a good character. Rudo's a good character. Oh, okay. This goes here. I like the characters enough here to go here. I like them enough to go here. I like them enough to go here. God, this is hard. Do I value the characters more than the animations? This is rough, but no. But man, Gachi Kuda. All right, so good action animation, sure. Um, I like some of the characters. I really. This is one of the rare cases. Um, all my homies hate. Although it's not so much all my homies hate, but it fits in that mold, right? For animes of that mold, I generally never like the main characters, but I like Rudo. I I I like him as a character, and I like his backstory. I like his growth so far, and I like that they show his growth, and they plainly show his growth, and they show him like working through his scenarios to better himself. Like that's cool. That's just a unique thing. The real selling point to this, past those two things, is Gachi Kude has good characters that I hate. I hate Amo. I hate Jabba. Dear Lord, I hate me some Jabba. I want nothing more. Ever since that motherfucker showed up, I wanted nothing more than for somebody to punch him in the throat. But and this is well, I don't talk about anime too much in settings like this, but something that is really good, and the few people I've talked to, we've all agreed is, and this is a common thing, you know, an antagonist or villain is really good if you just genuinely hate them. And I know Mo doesn't really fit into this, but Jabba, oh god, oh god, is goofy, maniacal, dread-headed clown with his obnoxious laugh, his antag power. Like, God, get him out of here, please. He's such a good character. I can't stand looking at him. But yeah, that's a really good quality to have. That's another really good driving force for the anime, for the show. Really cool. Really cool. Um, but yeah, like, you like good characters? Do you like uh a good a good shonen pro tag story with solid growth, with really tangible growth? And it's not like a solid line. It's conflicted. I know I just said it was and it wasn't. Like, it's conflicted, but it's not like convoluted and hidden behind a bunch of hidden meetings and stuff. Like, you see him work things out, and you see him like working through the steps, and that's just cool to see. It's an amusing, interesting, and cool narrative. It's been fun so far. Kaiju number 8, season 2. I really don't even think about this too much. Like, I generically say Kaiju number 8 is good and I like it. Uh, Mainly because Hibino's an old guy, and it's like, man, old guy still got it. But now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, I was like, all right, how highly do I really think of Kaiju number 8? I don't like, I don't even remember his name. I don't like him. Whatever the new guy, generic as otaku is supposed to be, undercover otaku. I hate that trope so much. I hate that trope so much. So I hate that character. And I don't really care about any character other than Hibino. And I don't even really think. No, I can't even think of her name. His friend, the captain chick. Yeah, you can tell I don't really think of characters too much in this. Kaiju number 8, I just kind of accept as good. So the question is, how good do I really think it is? It's time to put it on the tier list. Especially season 2. I think it goes here. I think it really does go there. Hoshino, I can only think of his name because the segments at the end. He's all right. Yeah, like it looks cool, but past that, yeah, it's like all my homies hate. What are they? Are they demons, mutants, aliens, extraterrestrial beings? We all hate this thing. Wait, kaiju, idiot. We all hate kaiju, but we got a kaiju. And we're cool with this one kaiju. We're not entirely cool with him, but we're cool with this kaiju. That's the anime. They're all kind of the same. They're all kind of the same. Not literally, but they're all kind of the same. So do they look cool? Is there anything that I actively dislike in there that kind of is a defining feature for those? You like to see the old guy still got it? Kaiju number 8. Oh, this is Sakamoto Days season 2, right? Yeah. God, I couldn't stand that chick. Don't even know her name. I couldn't stand the chick. But I'm still putting this above or below. They're effectively the same. Not a whole lot to really say about season 2. I like the intro, the OP a lot. The end of the OP is insane. Yeah. Dr. Stone, season 4, part 2. Where's Dr. Stone? Where's Dr. Stone? Right here. I guess now that I'm looking at these and they're both season 3, something I do have to point out, the soundtrack. It was really jarring. This started in the core 1. No, yeah, core 1 because it's core 1, core 2 and Mark. Make sure I'm not crazy. Yeah, okay. Season 4, core 1, core 2. It was really jarring that they had this contrasting soundtrack with hip hop. it had hip hop. Where did these bars come from in my Dr. Stone? And it felt my instinct. I remember this was like they're only doing this because they're going to America. But it didn't take long for me to be like, well, it's cool that they have this stark difference in the soundtrack because they're in a completely different region. And that is something that stood out to me. But yeah, it's more of the same. Uh, I'm trying to think if I genuinely liked one more or the other, and I don't because it's more of the same. That I respect Doctor Stone for Good Faces the anime, but I really can't stand how extremely convenient a lot of situations were, such as the end of the core. Um, man, I really can't stand Chelsea. um, yeah, this is more Doctor Stone. It's all right. Oh, this is a good one. I'm gonna have to push through with this little bit of water I have at the end of this. I should have got a bigger bottle. I should have got 2 bottles. Oh, actually, this isn't even a good one. I think about it. Rent a Girlfriend season 4. So jaded about this. Contrary to what most people would think, no, this does not go here. This does not even go here. This genuinely does not even go here. Start here. Did I have faults with it? Yes, it does not go above Lazarus. I guess I should go here. Does it have faults? It does not go above Miss Elf. Um, you might actually just go right here. No. It goes here. Because it's better than Tamaki. So, Rent a Girlfriend is one of my favorite animes to hate. I read the premise however many years ago. I was like, man, this seems like trash. Let me watch this. And yeah, it's trash. It's good quality trash, don't get me wrong, but I hate all the characters. Yes, I hate all 6 of the characters. I hate Kenichi, is that his name? Hate Chizuru. Hate Mami. Hate Ruka. Uh okay, hate is a strong word for Minnie. I really dislike Minnie. And Sumi? Sumi? She's so irrelevant, but I dislike her too. She's the one character that by default everybody be like, why do you hate her? Because she's so like self-defeatish and doesn't do anything. But yeah, I hate all the characters. But this season specifically, this season was good because of the drama in the anime. It was bad because in the anime, I don't remember if this was a thing before. Because there are some things that I remember that I liked before. Like season 3? I think, yeah, that was the season that Minnie was introduced. Season 3 has, bar none, my favorite fourth wall break in all media. My favorite fourth wall break. It's insane. But so there are things that I like about it. But season 4, I it a lot of the season was just like weirdly objectifying and describing Chizuru and Minnie or Mami, excuse me, and I guess Ruka. I don't know how much of Ruka was involved, and it's like it's on par for the anime. It makes sense, but it just really, really, really stood out this season, and it was just awkward. It seemed weird and out of place. You could argue that it would make sense because the the main setting for this season was a resort, but it was like this just seems it was excessive. There was no scene. It was excessive at points, and I was like, even for this piece of trash, this dumpster fire of an anime, this just seemed far out of place, and it was obnoxious. But outside of the anime, there was the whole problem of apparently the end of the manga or the end of this arc was spoiled. And it like made waves across the internet. And I'm thinking, of all of the things that people want to spoil and draw attention to, why this one? Because most people hate it and don't interact with it. So like, if it's already down there, why are you kicking it while it's down? And that's just sitting on my mind. And so the rest of the anime is just tainted to me because of that. I'm sitting here wondering, are they going to change the end because of that or not? Or are they just going to be like, yeah, this is what you're walking into? And it's a train wreck at this point. But even still, I'm faithfully going to watch because it's doing the same thing that I expected to do when I read the synopsis. And it is one of the most entertaining things that I've watched because I'm invested in being able to explain why I dislike it. I can't stand any of the characters. They're all trash cans. If that sounds cool to you, hop on board because it is fun. I do be talking about it with some people. Some people try to argue that some dumpsters are better than the others. Man, Ruka's a great character. Get out of here. Ruka's not the worst. Mammy's the enemy. No, it's Ruka, but it's all of them. Campfire cooking. I was gonna say 4-2. Campfire cooking season 2. You really watch this for one thing. I don't care about that one thing because if I remember correctly, there were 2 animes that happened, or there was another anime that happened the same season that did the exact thing. But which one did it better, you can argue one way or the other, but the other one was far more interesting. That other one was delicious in dungeon. So I have to ask myself, I do not care about the, oh God, this is hard. Hold on. Put it back. Because the question I have to ask myself is, how much do I care about the animation? There's bias in this, by the way. How much do you care about the food animation? Food look good. Because I don't care about anything else. I don't care about the plot. I don't care about the characters. I hate Fell. Macho whatever, I don't care about. Sui's okay. Dora's okay. But the entire season has this problem where all dialogue in any episode is main dude says something, Fell says something, Sui says something, or excuse me, Dora says something, Sui says something. I guess it's time to eat. You better make meat. Yay, food. Yay, I'll eat whatever the master makes. That's the dialogue. I don't want to go in a dungeon. We're going in a dungeon. I don't want to go fight stuff and show how strong I am. I want to go pew pew. the same skeleton, usually in the same order. And it's like, okay, well, I don't care about this. Oh, and then there's the gods and goddesses. You kind of throw them away for a while because they're just there when they want to whine about something. I don't care about them. The anime really is, do you want to look at good food? Do you want recipes as well, or you want to try to piece together the recipe since, you don't have orc meat or anything? But yeah, that is another driving piece. But if you're not interested in that, for one reason or other, you're not like a chef, raise his hand, then you're there for, does the food look good? And so the question I have to ask myself is, how good does the food look? Knowing that I actively have problems with other things. Yeah. And I've seen people throughout the last season or so go like here or even higher. And I if you like Fell, I understand. I totally understand. If Fell is tolerable, that makes sense. But like to me, all campfire cooking really is good food the anime. It's a map of anime if I remember correctly. It's like good food the anime. And I'm like, just give me another season of Delicious in Dungeon, because that was good food the anime too. But I actually liked everything else. I don't like what's going on here. Or I don't like Fell. Everything else is forgettable. No, 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 no. The base premise. Hold. I I hate this so much that I blocked this out because I think of campfire cooking. I hate the base concept that this dude was thrown in. He was isekai in the world with some other people, but I can't. Well, I think he was with other people if I remember correctly. And you don't even care about the other people, but he has the ability of randomly ordering stuff online. Huh? So it goes under I can't stand the convenience because this has far more convenience, far more inexplicable convenience. It might go lower. It might go lower. Hold. No, it actually goes lower. Because I know what I signed up for here, and at least I enjoy like complaining about this. This is just I want it to be more, and it's just good food. Don't worry, this does not go below Tamaki. It does not go below Tamaki. Yeah, there is extreme bias against campfire cooking, but yeah, I don't care too much about it. One Punch Man season 3. Before episode 7, it goes here. But after episode 7, I think it was 7, 6 or 7, and they're like, look, we have a budget and some time. Hold, I'm thinking of making amendments. Oh, man. Because it goes here. It does not go above Zatsutabi. Do I hate it more than vending machine rom-com? Yes. How much more? It was pretty bad. I have to do this because it was like, for as much as I want to trash this, and for everything I said earlier, no, it still had good animation in like the minute and a half episodes. One, if you know, you know. Man, actually, when I think about it like that, I kind of have to do this. Yeah, God, I might have to slide this up some more. Yeah, okay. It's part of the amendments. One, that was so good. But oh god, if you've heard the horror story of One Punch Man season 3, I don't need to say anything about it. It's so my thing about it. I mean, I don't have to say anything. I'm going to say something about it. So my thing is, everybody. I watched the first few episodes because I didn't watch it when it first started, and it wasn't on my algorithm. Thank you, Twitter, for once. I don't think there was a lot of complaints in like the first 2 episodes. I think I watched the first 2 or 3 in a batch. But when people complained about it, they complained, or for what I saw on Twitter, is they just like specifically complained about low budget, no animation. And it was to the point. If you don't know, it was to the point of where the Japanese studio was apparently responding to people saying that they're being far too harsh on them. No, they're not being far too harsh. It is not good. But when I looked at it, the first thing that crossed my mind is, this is AI, isn't it? And I'm pretty sure that's eventually what the topic came to be. But for somebody like me who, I don't want to say I'm oblivious to that, but I'm not like super privy to it unless it's extremely obvious. Like, and it, at points it does get extremely obvious. But that was the first thing that crossed my mind. It was like, it looks that kind of bad. And it was bad enough to where I was like, this is bad, but what kind of bad? What level of bad? How bad? And that's not something I do very often. So, yeah, it was not good. But then there were so many things that were also not good with it as well. Cuz it was like, I feel like all the talk is only about the animation. It was another scenario where the dialogue felt horrible, but that also felt like AI because all the dialogue felt strung together. Um, it felt flat. It felt very soulless, and I was constantly asking like, how do huh? What is going on here? Like, am I crazy? Do these things happen and I never noticed? Is it really just the bottom of the barrel? Unlike Lazarus, though, I was watching the sub. So I was like, this is what y'all are putting out in society. In all the world. Not just in the Western world. In all the world. Which is just your world, too. And y'all are cool with this? And then the icing on the cake is that I realized, and I don't remember this because I don't really remember One Punch Man. I'm so glad that they had an episode 0 synopsis to remind me of the plot because I did not remember what was happening. I realized I don't know if I ever really cared about One Punch Man or I just bought into the hype. But the only character that I even begin to care about is Saitama. I don't know how much I really like him. I don't think it's that much. But as long as anything else is happening, I I I could care less. Guess who's barely in this season? Yup. It's pretty trash. It's pretty trash. Like, the only way I could tell somebody to watch this is if they're interested in wondering why people donked on it so hard. That's the only reason. Because it's not even good trash. Where is this? It's not even good trash. I want to watch a trash anime. Watch Rent a Girlfriend. That's good trash. This isn't even good trash. You have to go in here for a very specific reason. If you, and I guess another reason, and I said this when the episode happened, which was again 6 or 7, and I'm not saying that for the meme. You can do the 6-7 meme, but it was literally episode 6 or 7. Whichever one where they finally had a budget and they had the one dude fight the 2 ninjas, right? I honestly questioned, wait, is this animation good? Because it's at least mediocre. And I feel like at some point that will be a case study, or this season will be a case study of what happens when you have a studio working on a crunch and or with no budget compared to what happens when you give them time. Because the difference is that drastic. But even after the fact, when there were spats of good animation, it's not good enough to put it up here. This thing was bottom tier. But it's still better than Takamine, excuse me. It technically is better than Tamaki, but at least Tamaki has good animation. And Iris. And Maki. Spy Family 3? We're in the winter anime now, right? No, not winter. Fall. Skip the season. Spy Family 3. This isn't even fair to say, but Yor is a great character. Yor is my favorite character. Yor is a great character. No. No. It was just another good season of Forger antics. And they hit more of the main point, the main plot, which is really good. It was unfair to try to base it around Yor because I mean there's always going to be a big segment about Anya because she is, I mean, all the Forgers, well, Lloyd Yor and Anya are driving forces, not so much Bond, but Anya's a big plot force because she knows what everybody is thinking. That's just a good point to focus the plot on. But there was a lot of backstory for Lloyd. There was his backstory. It's not to say there wasn't anything for Yor. There was a very important point for Yor. But yeah, they all had their moment, as they do every season. But it was just a really good season because yeah, they started with the wide array of like short segments and everything, and they honed into a focal point at the end of the season, which is pretty good. Yeah, Spy Family is just good. If it was largely a season about Yor, I'd probably move it up more because I'm extremely biased towards Yor. Yor is a great character. I would not wish drunk Yor on my worst enemy. I was telling somebody that earlier. Even though there was drunk Yor. God damn it! Oh man. Yeah. Good anime, good times. These are all real good at the end. To Your Eternity 3. And now I have to think for a second because I have to think about where the core ended. It's currently in a core and it's just continued through. And I put it off at the end because if you remember my opinion of To Your Eternity, I say the first episode was amazing. The first episode was could go down as one of the greatest episodes of anime ever, and it was award winning. And it's just slowly degraded since then. Um, I don't remember if I did a video or I just did a pay spin for the end of season 2, but the stinger for season 2, which led to season 3, was insane, scary, terrifying, and I literally screamed, "Why are we doing this? Why is there more?" And then season 3 happened. Better than the animations. Uh, is it better than Monica's reactions? The story of we've built the world, but like, what are you getting at? What is the end game? Yes. Is it wait? Okay, I was like, where's the other Sakamoto S2? Is it better than yes. Is it a better story than just a slice of life? Is it better than slice of life stories? No. Not as a whole. Not as a whole. Like it's this is probably the hardest thing for me to judge, to rank, to tier. Cause yeah, like I really liked it I liked the premise. I liked it in the beginning when it was just like, here is the world. Let's build the world, and this is how people are. The moment knockers were introduced in the anime, I hated it. And it just slowly dissolved since then. Cause I'm like, why does there has to why do there have to be this like this completely inexplicable foreign being interacting with the world? Like the world is already jacked up enough, no matter how you try to frame it. Why does there have to be like this otherworldly being? But then that's a good thing that leads into season 3, or a good thing in season 3 is like seeing where things are many years into the future after season 2. And even though I ultimately watch, I don't want to say I groan. I don't hate what I watch, but I'm just like I'm here to see where it ends up. And even though I'm not entirely invested, I am very intrigued. And with that, even though I'm like very like hot or cold when I watch, like I said, I had to think about where this first court ended because I actually haven't watched for the past month, roughly month, like 5 episodes. But then I watched 5 episodes today. So it's it's a good story. It's a cool story. The knockers aren't that bad. It's just my personal beef with the whole concept. It's just really interesting to see. Here's the world starting with nothing. Where does it go? How does it get shaped? Fushi, what do you do? Taking the smallest sips to hold on to dear life with this water bottle. We're almost there. Um, a faded magical princess. Who made me a princess? Okay, before I move this, this was cool to look at because it was really unique to look at because it was made by a Chinese company. Uh, Apparently it's the same company that did King's Glory. So from what I assume, I can't say what I gathered because I did not look this up. I do not know this. From what I assume, it is a high production, or like a high dollar studio, high dollar Chinese studio. Yeah, and so it was really good to look at. The story was cool. The premise was really cool about a girl who has the ability to see her future, or she has seen her future, where she is disowned by her father and locked in a tower. Who is he's not a king. He's nobility. That's the best way to put it. He's like a line of nobility. He disowns her and locks her in a tower. And she is reborn. It's not an isekai because she's not sent to another world, but she's reborn. And she, with this foresight, she tries to change her future. She tries to change her fate. It's cool, but when I sit and I think about it, I'm like, how much how much of the actual anime did I like it? So like I like the premise, I like the animation, but then I think about what actually happened, and I think about watching it. I'm like, how much do I actually like the events that are happening? And it's like, they were okay. So the animation in the premise, where do I put this? Effectively, I see where does it end up, and that's like I think this is about right. Yeah. Does it beat to your eternity? With bias, yes, because I never had a problem with it. Um, is it better than With You in the Rain? No, because I never questioned if I like this. I I really liked it for what it was, which is supposed to be a low-key anime. I never had a qualm with Fate Magical Princess, but yeah, when I think about it, I'm like, what did I really like about it other than the animation and the premise? And it's like, it was solid. I don't hate it. Uh, Anastasia was a good character, but not amazing or anything. It was solid. It's just that was really it. It wasn't super interesting or intriguing past what we were trying to do. And once we saw that we were like going down the correct rails, it was like, okay, well, make it look cool. Show me the wonders of foreign CGI, which there's some really good CGI in it. Yeah, it's good. I mean, I kind of mull over these, but like this is A tier. This is high tier. This is good. I'm sitting here thinking it's like I had a good time, but I was largely indifferent to what was happening. I was just there for the atmosphere, so I was okay with it. May I ask for one final thing? This is really easy. It goes here, but the question is I think I have to put this here. I think it literally goes here. Give me a second to ponder. Um yeah. No. God. No, I actually do have to put this over. Cuz these are effectively the same thing. Like I said this however long ago. How long is this video at this point? Do you have a time on here? Time. God, this has been 3 hours. I said this early on when I was talking about Guild Receptionist, where this anime is a meme. Do you buy into the meme? Yes, then you will like it. Is the anime really that good past the meme? Not really. But the meme will carry it. The character will carry it. Same thing. La angry woman punches noble people. She punches nobility. She beats the everlasting crap out of nobility. Um, most of the animation is okay. It's not bad, but it's not great. I would think more of this if there was like more animation, but it's a lot of the like slide the frame, um, spin the frame, a lot of that. So it's like it's okay, but it's I really like the idea of la angry woman goes and beats the crap out of people. So it was fun. Um, it was also funny once you started getting further into the anime and you realize, wait, there's like 3 or 4 different genres in here. I don't want to talk too much about it, but like, I guess another reason why I do have to put it above Guild Receptionist is the antagonist. that antagonist has a really cool quirk that I don't know if it's been done. If it's been done, it's not a really common thing, but it's a really cool way to go about a common thing nowadays. So yeah, there are some cool things about it, but if you don't buy into the meme or you look past the meme, there really isn't too much. Um, Using classical music for all the action sequences makes sense, or a lot of the action sequences makes sense. Felt weird, but it made sense. But I'll never get over it feeling weird, so it was weird. But yeah, Scarlet. Scarlet was a cool character. La Angry Woman. Undead Unluck the Winter Arc. This OVA. Andy and Fuko. Uh, might have to put it here. Yeah, I kind of had to put it there, which is unfair. Like, this is a lot of bias against this. Um, One, I appreciate again that they gave me a synopsis in the beginning because I don't remember Undead Unluck, and it's not like I looked at anything before. Um, I'm watching it, or yeah, I'm watching it because somebody asked me to watch it. In fact, I am owed a bottle of Coca-Cola for watching Undead Unluck, and I still have not gotten that yet. If you're listening, this is just your reminder. I know we haven't seen each other since Undead Unluck, but the next time I see you, I do remember this because it's funny. But yeah, the winter arc, it wasn't bad. I just don't remember anything about it because I I'm just there. Like I know that they did a task and it was setting up for the next arc, whether it's season, an OVA movie or whatever. But oh, and I also remember the fight that happened, or I guess the fights that happened. But yeah, it's largely there for me. I don't remember like if it even has great animation or not. Uh, I don't really care for Fuko too much, even though if I ever see like a good luck beanie, I'm gonna get it. I wish I was watching this when it aired, because I would have got the beanie when it aired. There was like an official one somewhere, but yeah, Andy, don't care too much about him. It's a lot better now that they toned down the ecchi from the beginning of season one. But yeah, Undead Unluck is good. If you like it, you like it. It's not bad, so it's really hard to go against it. You have to tank the beginning of it unless that's just your thing, and if that's your thing, double thumbs up, more to you. But yeah, it's okay. All right, what is this? Oh, My Hero Academia season 8. Uh, and I'm thinking about this. I thought about putting 7 on here. I should have put 7 on here because I watched 7 before 8. Because 7 was one of the animes that happened in spring 2024. And I didn't watch a lot of anime in spring 2024. But, God. Above or below Vigilantes? Let's start with that. They are not the same, but this is actually a really good starting point. I think I actually had to go below. Because, yeah, Rarako is not really in much of 8. I mean, yeah, the backstory, but her big thing was in season 7. Yeah. Um, I understand that people were really overjoyed with seeing the end of this decade-long anime. But there were so many episodes where I watched and we get to the end and I legitimately ask, okay, so what actually happened? There's like a long drawn out narrative, or like there's a long drawn out fight. It was more narratives than fights, but it was like, okay, what plot actually happened in here? And it was like one thing. And I mean, that makes sense. It's the gripping conclusion and all. But for one who is not really motivated by the plot, I wasn't too interested in seeing like one piece by one piece by one piece as we walk to the end. It was very amusing to see that it actually ended. That's not something I see very often. Like there was a finite end, or quote unquote finite end, especially quote unquote since they're gonna have the OVA somewhere down the road. But yeah, it was interesting to see that it ended, but yeah, just like the overall season as a whole, like it looked okay. I mean, it looked good, but I wasn't really vested in it. And I have to make this unfair comparison to Vigilantes because yeah, I remember that it did wind up with like a lot of the things that I liked in Vigilantes, but I couldn't remember if it did this before or if they started here. But I know for a fact that it was here, and that was a defining thing to me in Vigilante. So I don't really have a lot that I liked in season 8. I was just here through loyalty and obligation because I started in the beginning and I was cool with it in the beginning. So unless it did something egregious, I was going to see it through, and it did nothing egregious. Other than this last fight taking, oh, I don't know, 2 seasons, a season and a half. But yeah, it wasn't terrible or anything. And then this is the last anime of 2025. Sanda. Sanda, which was nice animation, good art, unique art, but a really bizarre and interesting, unique idea, unique take on. Well, what? Hold on. Before that, it was also, I believe, I don't know this for a fact because I don't live there, but uh, a narrative on either the current situation of Japan or like times in Japan or a time in Japan, but also a unique, interesting, bizarre twist on the concept of Christmas and Santa Claus. It has to go up here. Like, even though I like Ninkuro more, it's like it's so interesting. It's so different. I have to at least put it up here. actually the no, yeah, it does. It does. It does. It does. Do I put it above Solo Leveling? Yes. Do I put it above Clavatis? I don't think I do. But yeah. Um Sando was just I looked at the synopsis. I don't even really remember the synopsis. I was just like this, huh? Something about Santa. Let's see what it is. And then I watched it and I was just like this is absolutely nothing what I was thinking about when I read the synopsis. This is absolutely nothing what I was thinking about from the people who recommended it to me, who tried to give me the elevator pitch. Because two people gave me an elevator pitch after I watched the first episode and I made my thread for it. And they were like, yeah, it's good. I hope you're ready. And I was like, huh, well, I'm not because this was nowhere on my radar in any capacity. But it was just, it was cool to just take the concept of Santa Claus and put him in a completely different realm. Take the concept of Christmas and put it in a completely different scope. That was a good time. Yeah, nice animation, yada yada. But yeah, it was that was just a different idea. It was an off the wall idea. And I was like, yeah, that stuck. That stuck very well. But with that, we are now done with all of the anime that I watched from 2025. Yeah. But we're not done yet. Because we have two honorable mentions. There was actually a few more that I watched over the year, but there are two honorable mentions. And these are two very important honorable mentions. I actually want to start with this one first. Brave Bang Braver. I vaguely remember reading the synopsis when it happened. I don't even remember what year it happened. It was like 2024, I want to say. I vaguely remember reading the synopsis, and I remember some talk about it. And I remember the initial talk about it was like not really a lot. It was kind of brushed off and swept under the radar. But fast forward to this year, and in my streaming, which I have started streaming, I stream every now and then, especially now. It's very thin. I haven't streamed that much lately. But in short, anime is a topic that comes up. And somebody mentioned Brave Bang Braver and said, quote, this is the best mecha anime, unquote. And I was like, huh, I never heard of it. And they were like, just try it. They're like, don't look at ratings. Don't even read a synopsis. Just try it. I was like, I vaguely remember this looking at the thumbnail. I'll try it. And so I watched the first episode. And I was like, lol. Okay, I understand why you say this is the best mecha anime ever. I don't think it literally is. But your argument is very valid. And I will let you have it. I will let anybody have it. Because it's a huge meme and a huge parody. But it has really good animation. But no, it's a good total package. Even if you're not really about the parody, which the parody is targeted to some degree, it's good. It does not fit into the normal mold of mecha anime. And this is coming from somebody who, again, does not like sci-fi too much. I don't really care for mecha anime. I think I can still count how many mech anime I've watched on one hand. I'm pretty sure I can count the ones that I've watched on in its entirety on one hand. I think I can count how many I've watched all together. That might take two hands. But Yeah, Brave Bang Braver. It's a little bit of a tongue twister, especially after 3 hours. The funny thing is, I still haven't finished this. Like, I still need to watch the last 3 episodes, but even then, I can say, and I will say, undeniably, it goes at least up here. It's that good. It's just that good. I haven't got around to it because it's an anime that's already passed and I can watch it when I want. And if it's not in season, I'm very prone to be like, I get around to it, but I'm lazy. Yeah. But I think I do have to literally put it here. The animation is really good. I like it for the parody and the memes. Do I like the parody and the memes more than these parody and memes? I actually don't, but it's totally believable. Totally believable. Totally believable. I don't know if you go higher than this, but totally believable. But yeah, Brave Bang Braver. It's really good. And that leaves us with the last thing on this list. The last thing on this that is getting placed on this tier list. Not the last anime I watched in 2025, but one that I watched. I watched for the most, not the most, but a very off the cuff reason. And yeah, it's completely changed my scope on a genre. This is Ascendance of a Bookworm. I think the first season was in 20 it's 2018 or something, because every time when I watched it I was like, this looks like an '08 anime or something, but no, it happened far more recent than that. I wound up watching it because I have an acquaintance, I have a friend that recently got into anime, and she was looking for recommendations. She was looking for things that interested her, recommendations or something that was given to her. She was looking for anime that interested her, and she came across this. It was like algorithm to her on Crunchyroll, I believe, because she was looking at stuff for books, or maybe she was looking for stuff for books, and she was like, "This, I'm interested in this because it's about books." And I was like, "You know what? I've given you a bunch of recommendations. You're interested in this. I'll humor the idea of trying it." I don't even think I told her that. I was just like, I'll just try it. And I watched the first episode. And I was like, holy shit. This is actually the best isekai that I've seen. This is just literally the best isekai I've seen. Pause, asterisk. Every time I say that, I always forget that Re:Zero exists because the last season of Re:Zero was, drumroll, spring 2024. So I have not watched the last season of Re:Zero. But past that, yeah, Bookworm, from like the first episode, was like, wow, this is insanely good isekai. Because it's the story of a girl, and all she wants is books. However, when she gets isekai'd into another world, she's not like overpowered and can do everything. In fact, she's completely underpowered and can't really do anything and has to interact with people. It's insane. It's it's I think even if I watch Re:Zero, I probably could actually say it's the best isekai. If it's not the best isekai, it's Re:Zero. I'm not putting anything else above it that I've seen. I'm not putting Slime Tenchi above it. I'm not. Especially because of season 2, but like, I'm not putting Slime Tenchi above it. I don't know what else would even come in the ballpark from what I've seen. I it's just good. It's good because unlike most isekais where main character, usually main dude, gets put into another world and he just gets to know it all above everything, like, this girl, I can't think of her real name, but mine actually has to interact. She has to barter. She has to learn. She has to struggle just to not only get what she wants, but just survive. And it's a really interesting, really intriguing, really engaging story. And I binged all 3 seasons, and I am waiting with bated breath for season 4, which is happening next season in spring. God, it might actually be here. I've thought about this time and time again in making this tier list. There are times where I put this here. Help, help. There are times where I put this here. I'm thinking. I kind of do have to do this. Yeah. It's unfair. Like, God, this is hard. Because my Mau bias is too strong. Because realistically, I like these two for the similar reasons. Pretty much the same reason. Realistically, I should have Bookworm here because this has changed my entire scope, my entire perspective on isekai. There are good isekais that exist. Asterix, aside from Re:Zero, and Slime Tenchi. But aside from Re:Zero. Like, it's made me realize, no, there are isekais I'm okay with. But I feel kind of unfair to put it this high because I binged all 3 seasons in like a week or a week and a half. So it was pretty fresh. I didn't have to watch it over years. But man, Bookworm is so good. We pray to the gods. We pray to the gods that season 4 is good. It will be, but man, we pray to the gods. The story is good. It was extremely plot driven. Like, it wasn't until season 3 that I guess they did it in season 1 alone. They did it here and there, but it wasn't until season 3 to where it even started to begin having like frequent action. And even then, like, it still takes a backseat to narrative driven, plot driven drama. And again, it's all based around a girl who, uh, by quote unquote by design, by how she is in this world, she is on the back foot the whole time. She doesn't get to just show up and she knows everything, but she can't do everything. And because she can't do everything, she has to figure out how to use what she has to enable her to use the knowledge that she has. She has a check to her power. And that is really cool. Do you want good isekai? Do you want a good story with a female lead? Do you want good isekai? Here you go. And that is all of the anime that I watched in 2025. Am I doing the recommendations at the end of this? I'm doing one final check. No, I did enough recommendations. If you're curious about something, ask me. Because I'm pretty sure there aren't going to be too many people who watch this. There weren't a lot that watched the last one. So I'm pretty sure anybody who was in the know watched this. You know where to find me. Ask me. Am I okay with this list? I had to look 2 or 3 times. I was like, what the hell is this? I'm still having to look. What the hell is this? This isn't what I think this is it? Oh, okay. It's like I don't remember what this is because it's not in a season. All right, Brave Bang Braveburn. All right, yeah, that's where that needs to be. I say I'm looking at this and I'm like, I'm really just glancing, kind of eyes glazed. Like, man, I've really sat here and talked about anime for 3.5. All right, time check again. 3.5. We've been here for a hot minute. Oh man, I really should make another blank tier and drop this one more down. No regrets. I'm not really gonna do that. The thought's funny though. Well, yeah. Tubi Hero X, Apothecary Diaries, Ascendance of a Bookworm, Coulon Generic Romance, Tackle P's Original Sin, City the Animation, My Dress Up Darling, Gachi Yakuta, Dandadan, Spy Family, Demon Slayer, Infinity Castle, Windbreaker, Clavatis, Sanda, Solo Leveling, Ruri Rocks, Witch Watch, Brave Bang Braveburn, A Ninja and an Assassin Under One Roof, Betrothed to My Sister's Ex, Anne Shirley with You in the Rain, Fated Magical Princess, Who Made Me a Princess, To Your Eternity, Sakamoto Days, Secrets of the Silent Witch, My Hero Academia Vigilantes, what is this? Oh, My Hero Academia 8. All right. My Hero Academia 8. Catch Me at the Ballpark. Blue Exorcist Blue Saga. Kaiju number 8. Yaiba, the Samurai Legend. Undead Unluck Winter Arc. May I ask for one final thing? I may be a guild receptionist, but I'll solo any boss to clock out on time. Aharen. Solo Camp for 2. Welcome to Japan, Miss Elf. Lazarus. Dr. Stone. Rent a Girlfriend. Campfire Cooking. Fire Force. Turkey Time to Strike. My Happy Marriage. Jeez, is it really this low? Compared to everything I watched, yeah. Huh. Honey Lemon Soda. Zatsutabi. Licorice Recoil. Friends or Thieves of Time. Is it just called Vending Machine? Reincarnated as a vending machine? I don't know the actual title for this. One Punch Man Season 3. I have not said any season so far, but we had to specify that Season 3. That's pretty bad. Please put them on Takamine. Those are, for the most part, all of the anime I watched last year. I technically have 2 more. I guess technically 3 more to add, but I'm not adding them. Because, actually, I should have put the Konosuba movie up here. Yeah, well, it'll be alright. It's Konosuba. But yeah, this is it. This is it. If you ask me my opinion again, like tomorrow, I'll probably change this. But this is where this is. Gonna jam this video up on the YouTube, and then I will jam it in the paste bin, and then I will jam it in the paste bin post. And yeah, I will beg for the forgiveness for the paste bin homies, because they have been neglected for almost a year. For everybody else, really everybody who has suffered through this long ass video, I appreciate your time, and see you again next year, probably. Until then, be easy, yo. Peace.